This is my coronavirus log for week 38. Details and timestamps in the description below, and here's the general outline of the video. Thank you. I love weekends, just sitting here relaxing, watching Sammy sit there and relax. Who's a good girl? She's like, what? What? Sorry for disturbing you. So Saturday, November 28th, love weekends, just being able to relax, drink coffee. In this case, I've gone through the coffee, and now I'm onto a nice cold glass of milk. Sammy's chilling in the love seat across from me. What's the big excitement for today? Ended up getting my snowblower, which is exciting. I think I did this. I was doing this when I swapped out the snowblower for my mower. I've got my neighbor and actually another neighbor actually all go in on with one guy. This guy, Mike, that does small engine repair. And what we do is he'll service our mowers, service the mowers and the snowblowers, and we just swap them out. So here in the fall, he'll pick up the lawnmower and he'll drop off the snowblower, and then he does the reverse in the spring. And like I said, I think I was doing this when that happened in the spring. So, yeah, life in the burbs, very exciting. Been binge watching the final couple seasons of Supernatural, which is a goofy show, but it's been enjoyable. 15 seasons of it. Kind of right up my alley as far as doing kind of the sci-fi fantasy stuff, real more fantasy where, oh, Sammy's barking at somebody out there. Somebody walking the dog. Basically the whole idea where there's this whole paranormal world that lives just alongside of us, similar to the Dresden Files or Harry Potter or any of that stuff. So the actual series finale was recently, so I kind of want to get through this season. I'm in I want to say the third episode of the final season. It's enjoyable. It's brain candy. Also been going through the Wheel of Time series, rereading that in anticipation of the show coming out on Amazon. It's a good series. It loses itself kind of midway through, and I'm about, 60% of the way through it, and I'm like, I got to take a break on these books because they just end up wandering all over the place, where I'm like, what is going on with this? It'd be something I'd fast forward through if I could, or get the Cliff Notes through, which I guess I could, but I choose not to. So be it. Got a bunch of packages today. It's funny since I do that unboxing. It's like normally I'd be like in the past, be like, oh, let me see what I got. Usually you kind of have an idea of what it is when it comes in the mail, but now I'm like, oh, I got to do it for unboxing. Not that any of you guys really give a shit. My buddy TJ did appreciate watching me open his packaging peanut filled vinyl yesterday, doing this thing. It's like fucking maybe 12 people watch this thing. I've said it before, I do this mostly for posterity, for myself and maybe my daughter, but that is just a fucking habit. It gives me something to do during the pandemic so I don't go crazier than I already am. But what I'll do is I'll end up getting a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I want to open it, but I don't want to set up the tripod and go through the whole opening thing. So I find I'll just be like, I'll just let them sit there for a couple days. Where normally be like, oh, let me see what I got, especially if it's something I need. But I'll probably do that this afternoon. Got to get the lights up too. I'm debating, do I do it this weekend or maybe next weekend? Got to take a look at the weather. I want to do it when it's not freaking miserable out. And getting my net lights up and stuff, because I'm like, okay, it's after Thanksgiving, now it's appropriate to have Christmas decorations up, but it's still not December, so I'm like, do I put them up yet? Put the Christmas lights up, it's much out of peer pressure as anything, and then I'll put my little tree up, and actually I'm gonna have to move some shit around. Literally all I put up is this little like freaking foot tall tree. I don't get a full tree anymore. Since my daughter's out of the house and it's just me, I'm like, what's the use of getting a whole goddamn tree? So I'll put it and I'll stack all the presents around it. But it's nice and easy to put up. It's already got the lights built into it, and I just plug the fucker in. So my life is so simple. I was like, what the hell's going on? But here comes Santa. Sunday, November 29th. Got the Christmas lights up today. Always good to have some, I always end up with some extra boxes that I buy because invariably every year you end up getting a couple strings that end up dead. Only one this year, but got it up, got the wreath up, looks good, at least Christmassy outside. Haven't done anything inside yet, it still seems kind of early, but usually right after Thanksgiving is when I put the lights up outside at least. Back to work tomorrow. It's goofy here. I'm just finishing up making dinner here, but I've got 3 big screen TVs here in the house, all for me. Man, I'm the only one here. Yet I end up watching freaking TV on my iPad because I can bring it in here while I'm making dinner. Stupid. So I needed milk, but I'm wearing flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt, but wasn't going to get fully dressed to run to Stewart's, which is like 24 seconds away. So I went in like this. Is what it is. Monday, November 30th, not off to a good start. Something is wrong with my freaking laptop. Won't start. It's giving me all sorts of crazy messages and asking for information like loading keys and shit that I don't have. I may have to bring it into work, see if they can fix it. Because normally they'd fix it remotely, but I can't even get the thing to start. So it is just cold and rainy out. Which is why I'm currently dressed like this with a sweater and my freaking hat on. I've got the heat on at 68. But it sure as hell feels colder than it is. I take the hat off when I get on Zoom or on Microsoft Teams. Nice hot cup of tea to help warm things up. I don't drink tea that often, but when I don't want to just keep drinking coffee because it'll keep me awake and bother my stomach, peppermint tea hits the spot. Tuesday, December 1st, I actually just did this recording and realized that I did do this recording. So that happens every so often. I'll look up and be like, why is the thing not timing? And I'm like, I just talked for 30 seconds and didn't hit the goddamn record button. So, finishing up the day at work. It's mid-afternoon. Today is kind of a weird day weather-wise. Yesterday was really blah and kind of gray. Today, this morning, it was almost like spring or summer shower kind of weather where I look out the window and it went from nothing to a monsoon in about a second flat. And my poor neighbor, Paul, I glance out, he's out there walking his dog. And I was like, oh, he's getting soaked. Dog's a lab. The lab's like, I don't care. It's water. I love water. So Paul did not look as happy as the lab did, though. What else is going on? Finally, the final month of this terrible year. In other news, kind of shitty, that monolith that they found, the 2001 Space Odyssey, big obelisk type thing that they found in Utah, somebody came and took it down. Sounds like vandals, not like, the freaking Department of Interior or some official agency, but just came. It sounds like they vandalized it, which kind of sucks. It's like, this is why we can't have nice things, people. Supposedly there was another one found, I want to say in Romania or maybe Turkey. It's kind of neat, so we'll see what happens with it. In good news, the Hold Steady released a new single today, and they've got a album coming out in February, so I'm excited about that. And they've got their Massive Nights residency that they do at Brooklyn Bowl every year. I've gone the past 3-4 years to see it. They're going to be broadcasting it and streaming it online, so I bought tickets for it. So won't be the same, as being down there, obviously, but I'm looking forward to it. They'll probably play a bunch of their new songs interspersed throughout the different nights. But take what you can get. It should be interesting in 2021. With everybody having been in lockdown, I think a lot of artists have really gone into, even more so of a creative mode. And so it should be interesting, all the music that comes out. There's already been a bunch of good music that's come out. But 2021 might be like the 1983 draft it was for quarterbacks as far as music. Time will tell. I'm looking forward to the freaking pandemic being over, though. With it coming up December, being end of the year, you've got different publications are coming up with their top lists of 2020. Paste and Consequence of Sound both did their top 50 albums. And I'm pretty... I listen to a lot of music. I probably more so, well, absolutely more so than your average person. But even still, like with Paste, with their top 50 albums, I only knew 21 of the 50. Now, some of that is because I'm not all that wide plenty wide, but as far as my breadth of musical taste, I'm mainly a alternative indie punk rock guy. not so much R&B, not so much rap, and some of the other more kind of pop-friendly stuff. And so sometimes there's stuff that's just not in my wheelhouse. That they may be huge, and I just don't know. Consequence of Sound, I knew 37 of the 50, so much more of a representation of what I listen to. So we'll see what some of the other ones come out. Pitchfork, NME, NPR is always weird as hell. It seems like they go out of their way. They've got a great music department. The Tiny Desk series they do, and they're always out there discovering new acts. But sometimes I think they try and out-weird themselves just to be like, oh, we're going to find something nobody else listens to just to be out there. Kind of, I don't know, critics drive me nuts when they do that. I call that the, oh, you had me at there's a sitar kind of weirdness stuff. But it is what it is. So other than that, kind of getting myself through the week. Work's getting busy as we get into year-end closeout, but at the same time, you're also looking forward to the holidays coming up. Good Lord, Christmas is only a little over 3 weeks away. I got a bunch of stuff coming in for Christmas gifts via Amazon, but I'm not going to travel, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get all that packaged up and either shipped off or make it drive and drop it off and figure out how to do that responsibly. So hope everybody's well. So big news just reported by the New York Times. Bill Barr has come out, the Attorney General has reported that the Department of Justice has found no evidence of fraud in the election. So let's see if Trump fires him now. And also Mitch McConnell, the majority leader in the Senate, and Trump's crony has also now referred to the new administration. So looks like the rats are getting off the ship. Wednesday, December 2nd. So NPR just published their top 50 albums of 2020. And as expected, it's fucking weird, and I haven't heard of a majority of them. I knew 12 out of the 50 that they mentioned. Must be very heavy on the sitar. The number 2 was Fiona Apple, which paced in Consequence of Sound as number 1. And their top album was Sault Untitled Black Is, which I'm not familiar with.
We are dying, that's the reason we are crying. We are crying, but we will never show fear. Even in my eyes, I will always rise in wildfires.
Not bad. So when it comes to collecting things, I enjoy doing it. I do show posters, I do watches, vinyl, but something that I've never gotten into that a lot of guys, especially younger guys, really 20-somethings, but even older than that, get into is shoes. Different Nikes and stuff like that, special release sneakers, etc. Never been my thing. I'm purely a practical guy. Like I like these Keen walking shoes. They're phenomenal. I like the way they look. Like the way they fit, and more importantly, I like the way they feel. That's one of the things I got out of the Army with doing a ton of walking is your footwear is important. Make sure you got support, et cetera, and stuff like that, and I've never lost that. But I see the guys like Aaron Judge, Clint Frazier, they're both probably in their 20s. Well, Frazier's definitely in their 20s. And I remember back on Entourage, Turtle was always into collecting shoes, but it's just something I've never gotten into. Maybe that's describe your age by one thing you do. It's like, okay, I'm so old that I don't collect sneakers. So I'm watching the Hold Steady live stream, their first night of Massive Nights. Fuck, I miss live shows so much. My setup. And they keep streaming stuff there on the Zoom and putting people up on the screens there at Brooklyn Bowl. This is the part where I talk about music. All right, so I thought I'd do some commentary on my Spotify 2020 wrap-up that they put out. It's kind of a neat thing. It's funny. Everybody's got a love-hate relationship with Spotify. I find it super convenient as a consumer, but I also get the inherent inequities of it for the artists and the musicians that are involved. But I use it all the time, I'll admit. So I've put it on my iPad. I'm going to try and sync these up and comment as I go along. I'm not really all that confident in the results. I wonder if it included the stuff that I played on my Amazon devices, because it seems like I'm wondering if it only is including what I actually listened to on my phone. Because some of the numbers, I'm like, somewhere like the top ones make sense, but the rest don't. but we'll see. I'm gonna start it on my iPad and try and sync it here. I do like how they do this. Skinner there, Fiona Apple. Well, this year may not be over yet. Yeah, we still got to. I'm more worried about making it January 20th. 336. Wow, yeah. I listen to a lot of. I try to listen to a broad range and a lot of artists, even though it's fairly within some genres. 303 genres. I don't understand what music I listen to falls into what freaking genre. And some of these things, when I read this, I'm like, okay, rock makes sense, indie rock. I have no idea what chamber psych is, and Australian garage punk is pretty freaking specific. I think the chamber stuff might be what I use to listen to. Let's see. And yeah, Hero's Death being my top album from Fontaines, DC. The top song doesn't surprise me at all. I listen to the hell out of that. And obviously, my favorite band that is my top album. Yeah. So May 5th. I'm wondering if that must be the date that this came out, because I listened to that, the hell out of that, and I actually just re-listened to it last night. It'll be quarantine vinyl. And I like that when I get into this, the other songs that I have, it's like almost all Fontaines CC. And Caitlin Keegan, who is great, and I actually chat with her every so often, an Australian artist. I'm kind of surprised that ended up in the top, because I didn't think I listened to that song more than anything else. So, I love the Foo Fighters. I am surprised a couple of my top, what I call my quartet, didn't end up in my top. And that's the Hold Steady, Fontaines CC, Frank Turner, and the Foo Fighters. Podcast, this looks right for what I listen to. Really enjoy the three recurring ones, and then Fairy was kind of a like a podcast story, which I got a kick out of. And I love John Boy and Jake are great with the Talking Yanks podcast. I actually just watched some stuff with them where they did a singled out episode, like a Mystery Science Theater thing. Listen to a lot of freaking podcasts though. Nice. Yeah, top podcast genre is pretty broad. I don't know what else it would be. In this podcast fair, I think I remember this. I was doing yard work and stuff, so I listened to 5 episodes in one day, and I remember. I think I was like planting my all the stuff in the garden. Nice. So it was early on when I Don't Belong. Let's see what my throwbacks were. Yeah. This is no doubt that it would be the 90s here. That's my formative years, the 80s and 90s. And the fact that it's the Foo Fighters is certainly not a surprise to anybody who knows me. And I do have houseplants now. Yeah, what is Grace Potter doing in that? She's great, but it's like, geez. That's the one that really makes me question the data. Top 2%. I saw some crazy stuff on their fan site. Somebody was like the 0.01% top. Like, holy shit. Sunflower Bleeding I like. Yeah, all these make sense except for Grace Potter. I mean, I saw her early on in the year, so I listened to some of her stuff, but I sure as hell would have thought I listened to other stuff more than that. All right, and that's it. And I did share this. It's funny. Everybody's freaking sharing these things, and it's interesting to see everybody's stuff and comments and stuff. But it's also getting to be a little bit. It's like, oh, here's another post of the year-end wrap-up from Spotify. So, figured this be appropriate for the music session.
that's all you got. You're in love and then you're not. You can lock yourself away, just appreciate the grey. You have heard and you have lost. You're acquainted with the cost, the one that comes with feeling deep. You're still paying in your sleep, yeah. Now you're rolling in the dirt, playing up to what you're worth. And we know what freedom brings, the awful songs it makes you sing. Don't you play around with blame, it does nothing for the pain. And please don't lock yourself away, just appreciate the grey, yeah. Even though you don't know, even though you don't, you feel when you go down to that place. It makes a monster of your face. It makes you twisted and unkind, and all the right words hard to find. There's no living to a life where all your fears are running rife, and you're mugged by your belief that you owe it all to grief. No.
What did Craig get from Amazon?
Outstanding. I know what this is. I talked about this last week. Hope Dunbar, friend through the Royale group, sent in some music along. Nice. Very nice. Oh, two things. Outstanding. Oh, that's great of her. So looking forward to giving both of these a listen. All right, I think this is, let me see the best way to open this thing. I think this might be Foo Fighters single that I got on, ouch, did I cut myself? Nope, good. that I got on eBay. That is of the best of you, but we'll see once I get the bad boy open. And yes, that's exactly what it is. So, it's a great song, The Best of You. Just like Yeats's poem, the song itself, to me, is just kind of like, hey, look, are you letting somebody get the best of you? It doesn't matter what happens, to you. It's how you react to it. So that's the way I've always taken it. I used to have it posted on my wall in my office. It's like, even if shitty things happen, hey, what are you going to do? I always tell my daughter, don't let somebody live rent-free in your head. All right, let's take a look at this. I think it's more vinyl. Oh, no, you know what this I think is? This is my Joe Strummer Christmas cards. I might actually do Christmas cards for the first time in ages. Yeah, look at these. Without people, you're nothing. That's Joe Strummer saying there. You can see the iconic thing of Joe there with his guitar. Let's take a look at these. Very nice. Let's take a look at the inside and have a rocking Christmas. Yeah, so this, I'm so shitty. I never do Christmas cards. I haven't in probably 10 years. I used to, but I think I may have to send some of these out. All right, and this is from the Lincoln Project. So I was thinking I'd ordered a hat. I'm wondering if they squeezed it in here, though. Seems like an awful tight squeeze for a hat. Anything else? Nope, it's the hat. They squeezed it in there. I actually, ironically enough, ended up just trading texts with Fred Wellman of the Lincoln Project. He's a veteran. And we chatted back and forth for a little bit earlier this morning. What a nice guy. Yeah, it's probably about the last thing I needed was another damn hat. But I like hats. All right, more vinyl from my buddy TJ, and I am suspecting this thing is full of goddamn packaging peanuts. But we shall see. Try to get this open without getting shit all over. Oops, we're knocking over the stand. And yes, of course it is that bastard. He threw him in there just for the hell of it. And taped him in there too. Son of a bitch. Bastard. All right. Oh my God, and then he freaking, and he's totally got this thing cellophaned together too. There we go. Nice. Appreciate it, even with the packaging peanuts. All right, vinyl. Vinyl has definitely supplanted watches, which is good because vinyl's a lot cheaper than watches, and I can use the vinyl more than I can the watches, but I still got more watches inbound. Oh, here we go. I was able to find, I've been looking for this, Stone Temple Pilots Purple, which is an album I listened to the shit out of when I was out in, when I was in the service in the early 90s. Especially Interstate Love Song was like my go-to listen for my cross-country drives from Oklahoma back to New York.
On a Sunday afternoon, I read between the lines.
So I'm psyched to have this. Nice, got the insert and everything like that. Really a shame about Scott Weiland. He was talented and tortured. Too many guys like that. I'll have to give this a listen. Friday, December 4th, finishing up the week. COVID's still on the rise. I actually got several people close to me that are waiting on tests that have been exposed and have symptoms, so that's scary stuff. But I don't want to finish on a down note. Looking forward to night 2 of the Hold Steadies live stream and of Massive Nice. Really enjoyed the show last night. I think one of the things that really made that show more enjoyable than a lot of the live streams I've seen, one, I love the Hold Steady, but two, you've also got the fact they set up a Zoom call in conjunction with the show, so you could see other fans, watch them watching it, and they broadcast that within the venue that the band was playing, so they could see it as well. So it created that feedback loop of energy from the fans to the band to the fans, and and it just kind of builds and escalates. So really a great time. So there's actually even a sound check Q&A, a smaller session that goes on at 5 o'clock that I'm looking forward to participating in that too. So we'll see how small it is. But otherwise, just hunkered down, trying to do the right thing. I got to finish up my Christmas shopping. I got to figure out how to get everything there. I was talking with my daughter. I'm like, hey, look, are you going to come down? Am I going to ship the stuff? I got to do the same thing with my sister and her family. I'm sure everybody else is struggling with the same kind of challenges in the unique times we're in. But I hope you're all safe and well, and be smart. Take care of each other.